I am incredibly worried about the day before. I recently done a video saying the game is a scam. And to run you guys through the process of everything that's happening, I'm going to put it in a nutshell because I've covered it extensively in previous videos. But basically, the developers for the day before have the worst history in game development I've seen in a long time. They had a game that they made and they sold it to their publisher in about 6 months. They had another game they abandoned 3 months later, and both those games, as far as I am aware, was due to player-based decline. Then they made a mobile game that had 30 minutes of gameplay. Then they've gone and released Prop Night, which isn't an original game in any way, shape or form. It's a mixture of Prop Hunt and Dead by Daylight. Now we have the day before, which looks to be a mixture of The Last of Us and The Division. People are now saying there's State of Decay in there, and some people have mentioned Left 4 Dead as well. But this is supposed to be an open world MMO. And it started off shortly after the announcement with a lot of hype, and I mean a lot of hype. Everyone was talking about this game. They have the second most wishlisted game on the whole of Steam at the moment, and this game is just under 2 months away from its supposed launch. The developers set release dates and everything like that, and they've just constantly kept delaying the game. Their latest delay was to set it back until March 2023, but one of the points was that they were upgrading to Unreal Engine 5, and I've heard a mixture of different things about transferring your projects and your games and everything from Unreal Engine 4 over to Unreal Engine 5, and the one that stands out the most is a lot of people are saying that it doesn't actually take too long to do that. It wouldn't take like a full year's worth of a delay. So there is so much shady stuff going on, and I can't stop thinking that this game is a scam. And obviously, people have been pointing out in the comments, a scam means to, rob you of your money, essentially. And it might not necessarily be a scam to the public at the moment, but if this game is fake, then it's a scam, at least so far, to Nvidia. I don't know how these developers have got such a big company on board with them, but then you look at the tweets that they've been sending out, and they are so desperate for retweets. They have a lot of popularity, a lot of hype around this game, and they are desperate on their social media. But not only that, they tweeted about the game in, I think it was the end of June 2022. They went silent until December. Then when it come to December, they was like, wow, we're showing off more of the day before. But then I noticed in quite a few of their tweets about the day before, they're also hashtagging Prop Night. So it's as if they're trying to merge everything they possibly can from the games they have created, and they're trying to bring everything to the day before. But it's showing that they're a little bit desperate because they are asking for retweets on a lot of their posts. They're saying retweet if you want to see a video of the development process. They're saying retweet huge premiere. Then don't miss 2 grand events in just a few hours, maximum share, retweet. And then as soon as they do the Nvidia RTX on showcase or whatever, the one where we got to see about 20 seconds of gameplay, the latest event for the game, or that has anything to do with the game, which was held on January 3rd. Ever since then, and I know it's only a few days, but ever since then, they haven't said anything. They've just gone back to, instant radio silence. And normally, that wouldn't be a problem. A game development company, a game publishing company, or whatever can mention their game and then go radio silent if the game's like a year and a half, 2 years out. But this game is supposedly less than 2 months away from release. And we still haven't had any proper gameplay. There's not been any talks of review copies going out to creators. There's no early access. There's no beta. There's nothing like that whatsoever. No demo or anything. So they haven't got any public testing going on, and they're going to need it. It's an MMO. There's going to be a lot of players on these servers, and they're not running any tests for the game whatsoever, at least in the public eye. Game testers nowadays for any company out there are quite scarce. That's been a problem within game development for years. Based on the stuff that I've researched and had a look at, game testers are just nowhere near as popular as they used to be, if you want to put it that way. There's just nowhere near as many companies that pay out lots of money for game testers because they can do their tests in other ways. And the thing is, with some games, this is quite a big game. It might not have a AAA price or anything like that, but it's quite a big game. The graphics are up there. The gameplay's like, I say the gameplay, the videos they've shown us, it looks as though the game's up there in terms of its quality. So I would rank it quite high. I wouldn't put this down as an indie title or anything like that. And normally, like when it comes to AAA games by big companies, they have this phrase of going gold. So maybe a couple of months before launch, they'll go gold, and it means everything is final, the product is ready to be distributed, and the game is ready to be released and launched to the public so they can go and play it. But 3 months away from the launch of this title, or 2.5 months away, they are saying retweet if you want to see the development process of the game. They haven't said anything about the game being complete or anywhere near complete. They haven't said anything about the transition over to Unreal Engine 5. There's no updates if March 1st is still a scheduled release date for them or anything like that whatsoever. All they did was got on board with Nvidia. The RTX on, the game didn't even look RTX on. The ray tracing just seemed to be non-existent. The gameplay had some errors like here and there that you could see, and it's supposed to be this big open world with lots of different areas. We've seen areas that look a bit like SnowRunner with like vehicles going through really rough terrain. Then we've seen like a city, and then we've seen like an abandoned sort of farm area. We've seen big areas. It's supposed to be this massive open world. And then you see in the latest clips, these, like, it looks as though it's some sort of a backdrop where there's like skyscrapers and stuff. And there's these really small sort of bordered areas that are known as the playable area. So everything these developers are doing is incredibly shady. I am genuinely worried and concerned about this game because it might not be mugging anyone off at this current time. It might not currently be a scam to the public because there's no pre-order or anything like that. But you forget this is a video game company. It's a company trying to make profits and all that sort of stuff. And they have marketing teams. So these people that work within these marketing teams know how to market a product to the public to encourage sales. So something they could do is they could not open pre-orders whatsoever to get people going, well, all the AAA games I've pre-ordered in the past, they've been an absolute mess and they've sucked me in early. This company's not doing that, so I'm going to give them a chance. Boom, extra sales. And there's lots of different ways they can do that sort of stuff to encourage purchases from the public. And I just can't get it out of my head. I think there's something really shady going on with this game. I hope for the sake of everyone that that's not the case. And I say that because it looks a bit like The Division, and the way the game plays, it seems a little bit like it's some sort of survival. You've got your PvE elements where you're like shooting zombies or whatever they want to call them. You've got really nice looking interiors. You've got loads of different mechanics to the vehicles, the looting, the shooting and stuff like that. And then we've also heard that there's these supposed sort of camps that you can hang out and you can hire people to work with you. You can meet up with other players and things like that. And there's like voice communication. If this was if it is a real game, then it's amazing. I was going to say fantastic, but that was just, yeah, it's the name of the development company. So I'm trying to steer clear of saying that word. But it would be fantastic if this was a real game, or if it is a real game. But I can't see it, and I'm not going to necessarily say, oh, it's fake, the game doesn't exist whatsoever. I just think that what they've shown us is going to be nowhere near what the final quality of the title is going to be. I think it's one of those things where they've created vertical slices. They've created this like specific pre-rendered footage to show everyone and get them hyped. And it's going to come out and it's going to be massively downgraded from what we are seeing. But that's my opinions, and I'm going to probably make a few of these videos leading up to March 1st unless there's any news beforehand, because this is the second most wishlisted game on Steam, only second to Hogwarts Legacy. So it's got a lot of anticipation behind this title releasing, and I just can't see it happening. I don't want people to go getting excited thinking it's going to be the best game of 2023. I'm going to absolutely love this game, and then it just never releases. I don't agree with building up massive amounts of hype before a game release, because you never know what's going to happen. There could be a multitude of different things that stop this game release. It could be entirely true. It could be a real game and everything's going to come out smooth, and then something happens and there's an internal error with the game that's a severe cause of bricking PCs or something like that, so they have to delay it a couple of months. There could be anything that could happen, and that's why I generally don't build up a lot of hype before a game release. The moment I get my hands on it, that's when the hype starts building, when I can start playing the game and actually enjoying it. But I know a lot of people like getting excited before so that the excitement's at like peak levels when the game does release, and I just don't think this game's going to be anything like what they've shown if it ever actually gets released and if it's a real product whatsoever. And yes, I know Nvidia are on board and they're not going to promote this fake game as people are saying, but you see scams going around to like some of the smartest people in the world still get scammed. Anything could happen, and yeah, it would probably involve a lot of court cases and stuff, but these people that make these sort of scams don't care. And the main reason I'm saying all this stuff is because the company has such a shady history. I don't trust them, and Prop Night is not an original idea. It's a hybrid of two games. And then the day before looks like a hybrid of a couple of games. I think it's smart what they've done. They've built up a lot of hype, but now they're acting desperate. They're hiding. They've got nothing to say. And as I said, there should be at least some form of early access or beta or demo or something out by now to get the public involved and see what they think, because we are less than 2 months away from launch. In fact, to tell you specifically how far away we are from this game's supposed launch, 54 days. There are less than 60 days until this game is supposed to come out. The hype is going to be building even more up until that date. And these developers don't have a word to say about anything. They've not shown proper gameplay in the last, I don't even know how long. But they've had this event with Nvidia. The gameplay, if they want to call it gameplay, the sequence they showed lasted about 20 seconds. And that's all they had to show for well over 6 months of work, with the game being less than 60 days away from its supposed launch. I'm going to leave you guys with that info. I am incredibly concerned, worried about the day before. I don't think it's going to be anything like what they are trying to make people believe. I think it's an absolute shambles, but we are going to have to wait and see. Hopefully the developers come out with something within the next month or so. But I'm not holding on to any hope or anything. I don't actually expect them to do it. It'd be nice, but these seem to be masters at going radio silent for months and months on end. So we're going to leave the video there. Check out this video if you want to see other content on the channel. I will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.